The human experience is fundamentally shaped by narrative. From the earliest cave paintings to the latest blockbuster films, stories have served as a crucial means of transmitting knowledge, values, and cultural beliefs across generations. They are not merely entertainment, they are a powerful tool for understanding ourselves, others, and the world around us. Our brains are wired to process information narratively. We naturally organize our experiences and memories into coherent stories, giving meaning and structure to our lives. This inherent predisposition towards narrative profoundly impacts how we perceive reality, make decisions, and form our sense of self. Consider the impact of personal narratives. Each individual constructs a unique life story, a personal narrative that shapes their identity and self-perception. This narrative is not a fixed entity, but rather an evolving construct, constantly being revised and rewritten as we navigate new experiences and encounters. Our self-narratives influence our choices, aspirations, and relationships, impacting how we interpret our past, present, and future. For example, someone who consistently narrates their life as a series of failures may develop a sense of hopelessness and lack of self-efficacy, while someone who frames their life as a journey of overcoming challenges may foster resilience and self-belief. The power of narrative extends beyond personal identity. It significantly shapes our understanding of the world and our place within it. Cultural narratives, embedded within myths, legends, and folklore, play a critical role in shaping societal values, beliefs, and practices. These narratives transmit cultural knowledge, moral codes, and social norms across generations, influencing our perceptions of acceptable behavior, social roles, and the nature of reality. Consider the enduring power of religious narratives, which often serve as the foundation for ethical systems, social structures, and worldviews. These stories, passed down through generations, provide meaning and purpose, shaping individual and collective behavior in profound ways. Similarly, national myths and narratives contribute to the formation of national identity and collective memory, influencing political ideologies and social cohesion. These narratives shape our understanding of history, our relationship to the nation-state, and our sense of belonging. The narratives we consume, whether through books, films, television, or social media, also significantly impact our understanding of the world. These narratives shape our perceptions of social groups, moral dilemmas, and political issues, influencing our attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors. The media we consume constructs narratives that often reinforce existing stereotypes and biases or challenge them. Exposure to diverse narratives can broaden our perspectives, foster empathy, and promote understanding across different cultures and groups. However, exposure to biased or limited narratives can reinforce prejudices and limit our understanding of complex issues. The role of media narratives in shaping public opinion and influencing political discourse is undeniable, highlighting the critical need for media literacy and critical thinking skills. Furthermore, storytelling is an essential tool for social change. Narratives can expose injustice, challenge oppressive systems, and inspire collective action. The stories of marginalized groups, often unheard and silenced, can empower individuals and communities, fostering social justice and equality. Consider the role of autobiographical accounts and testimonial narratives in raising awareness of social issues, such as racial injustice, gender inequality, and human rights abuses. These narratives provide powerful insights into the human experience, challenging dominant narratives and promoting empathy and understanding. However, the power of narrative is not without its limitations and potential for misuse. Narratives can be manipulated and distorted to serve particular agendas, reinforcing prejudice, misinformation, and harmful stereotypes. The spread of fake news and propaganda, disseminated through various media channels, demonstrates the potential for narratives to be used for manipulative purposes. Critical thinking, media literacy, and a commitment to seeking diverse perspectives are crucial in navigating the complexities of contemporary narratives. The impact of storytelling extends beyond individual and collective understanding. It is central to human connection and empathy. Sharing personal narratives creates a sense of intimacy and understanding, fostering trust and connection between individuals. Listening to the stories of others allows us to step into their shoes, promoting empathy and compassion. Therapeutic settings frequently utilize narrative approaches to help individuals process trauma, explore their emotions, and develop a more coherent sense of self. The act of storytelling, both personal and communal, plays a vital role in strengthening social bonds and fostering a sense of community. In conclusion, the role of storytelling in shaping human experience is profound and multifaceted. From personal identity to cultural transmission, from social change to therapeutic practice, narratives are fundamental to understanding ourselves, others, and the world around us. Understanding the power of narrative is essential for navigating the complexities of the human condition and fostering a more just, compassionate, and meaningful world. By fostering critical thinking skills, promoting media literacy, and actively seeking out diverse and inclusive narratives, we can harness the power of storytelling for good, promoting understanding, empathy, and positive social change. The constant evolution and adaptation of narratives reflect the dynamic nature of human experience, highlighting the ongoing interplay between individual stories and the larger cultural narratives that shape our lives. The ongoing challenge lies in cultivating a critical awareness of the narratives that shape our world and consciously constructing narratives that promote justice, compassion, and a more equitable future for all. Our lives are not simply a collection of events. They are stories we continually craft and recraft. This ongoing process of storytelling is integral to the formation of our identities and our understanding of ourselves within the larger context of the world. We are, in essence, the authors of our own narratives, constantly revising and rewriting our life stories as we navigate new experiences and encounters. This self-authoring process is not merely a passive reflection of our experiences. It is an active, creative process that profoundly shapes our perceptions, beliefs, and actions. The narrative we construct significantly impacts our self-esteem, our resilience in the face of adversity, and our capacity for meaningful relationships. Consider the individual who consistently frames their experiences through a lens of failure. Each setback, each minor inconvenience, becomes evidence supporting their pre-existing narrative of inadequacy. This self-defeating narrative can lead to a cycle of negativity, impacting their self-efficacy and their willingness to take risks or pursue ambitious goals. They might avoid challenges, fearing further validation of their self-perceived failings. This constant internal monologue, this ever-present narrative of inadequacy, becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, limiting their potential and hindering their personal growth. In contrast, the individual who frames their life as a journey of overcoming obstacles, even amidst setbacks, cultivates a sense of resilience and self-belief. They view challenges not as evidence of failure, but as opportunities for growth and learning. This perspective allows them to approach setbacks with a sense of agency and determination, fostering a positive self-image and empowering them to persevere in the face of adversity. Their narrative becomes a source of strength, shaping their identity as someone capable and determined. The power of narrative extends beyond simply defining our individual sense of self. It deeply influences our relationships with others. The stories we share with others, whether consciously or unconsciously, shape how they perceive us and how we, in turn, perceive them. These narratives create connections, fostering empathy and understanding. A shared narrative can form the bedrock of strong relationships, providing a common foundation for understanding and mutual support. Consider the strength that comes from shared trauma narratives, where the experience of hardship has forged a bond of resilience and mutual understanding. Conversely, mismatched or conflicting narratives can create significant friction in relationships. Disagreements over the interpretation of past events, differences in values reflected in life stories, or differing perspectives on shared experiences can lead to conflict and misunderstanding. The narratives we share, both implicitly and explicitly, therefore have profound implications for the quality and stability of our relationships. Our narratives are not confined to our personal lives. They are inextricably linked to the broader cultural narratives that surround us. The dominant stories of our societies, the myths, legends, religious texts, and historical accounts profoundly influence our self-understanding. If we grow up in a culture that valorizes individualism and competition, our personal narratives are likely to reflect these values. We may define our success in terms of individual achievement, measuring our self-worth against external standards of performance. Alternatively, a culture that prioritizes community and cooperation may foster narratives that emphasize collaboration, interdependence, and shared responsibility. The narratives of our social groups, whether religious, ethnic, or national, often provide a framework for understanding our place within the larger social order. They shape our beliefs, values, and expectations, influencing our actions and interactions with others. The media plays an increasingly significant role in shaping these broader cultural narratives. The stories we consume through television, film, social media, and other channels influence our perceptions of reality, our understanding of social issues, and our expectations of ourselves and others. The pervasive nature of media narratives makes it crucial to develop critical thinking skills, to discern between fact and fiction, and to actively seek out diverse perspectives. Exposure to a limited range of narratives can reinforce existing biases and limit our understanding of the complexity of the human experience. Consider the potential impact of constant exposure to media narratives that promote unrealistic beauty standards or perpetuate harmful stereotypes. These narratives can create a distorted sense of reality, leading to feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. In contrast, exposure to diverse and inclusive narratives can foster empathy, promote understanding, and challenge harmful. It is important to recognize that our personal narratives are not static. They are continually evolving and adapting in response to our experiences and changing circumstances. Moments of significant transition, such as graduating from school, starting a new job, getting married, or experiencing loss, often trigger revisions in our life stories. These transitions prompt us to reevaluate our values, reassess our priorities, and redefine our sense of self. The process of narrating these transitions, of integrating new experiences into our existing narratives, allows us to make sense of change and to find meaning in the midst of uncertainty. This ongoing process of self-authoring is what allows us to adapt and evolve throughout our lives, to navigate challenges and build resilience. Furthermore, the capacity for self-reflection and narrative revision is crucial for personal growth and well-being. The ability to step back and critically examine our life stories, to identify recurring patterns and underlying themes, allows us to gain valuable insights into ourselves and our behavior. This process of self-awareness can be empowering, enabling us to make conscious choices that align with our values and aspirations. It allows us to identify areas for personal growth and to develop strategies for overcoming challenges. Through this ongoing process of self-reflection and narrative revision, we become active agents in shaping our own lives and creating a more meaningful existence. In conclusion, the exploration of narratives of identity and self-understanding reveals the profound influence of storytelling on our lives. Our personal narratives shape our sense of self, our relationships, and our place in the world. They are not simply reflections of our experiences. They are active constructs that we continually create and revise. Understanding the power of narrative allows us to become more mindful authors of our own lives, fostering resilience, promoting positive relationships, and creating a more fulfilling and meaningful existence. By actively engaging in self-reflection, critically evaluating the narratives that surround us, and consciously crafting stories that reflect our values and aspirations, we can harness the power of narrative for personal growth and positive social change. The continual rewriting of our life stories is a testament to our capacity for adaptation, growth, and the ongoing pursuit of meaning and purpose. This dynamic interplay between personal and cultural narratives underscores the complexity and richness of the human experience, reminding us of the inherent power of storytelling in shaping our lives and understanding our place in the world. Myths, legends, and religious narratives form a powerful bedrock upon which societies build their collective understanding of the world and their place within it. These stories, passed down through generations, are not mere entertainment. They are potent tools for transmitting cultural knowledge, values, and beliefs. They act as a kind of social glue, binding individuals together through shared understanding and a common narrative framework. Consider, for instance, the foundational myths of ancient Greece. Stories of Zeus, Hera, and the other Olympian gods not only provided explanations for natural phenomena, thunderstorms, earthquakes, the seasons, but also established a moral order, outlining ideals of heroism, justice, and the consequences of hubris. These narratives served as a powerful socializing force, shaping the beliefs and behaviors of the ancient Greek populace. Similarly, the creation myths of various cultures often explain the origins of humanity, the world, and the moral universe, providing a sense of purpose and belonging within a larger cosmic order. The power of these narratives lies in their ability to transcend the limitations of individual experience and offer a sense of collective identity. They create a shared framework for understanding the world, providing answers to fundamental questions about existence, purpose, and morality. For example, the epic poems of the Mahabharata and the Ramayana in Hindu culture are not simply stories. They are repositories of dharma, righteous conduct, karma, cause and effect, and the cyclical nature of time. These narratives have profoundly shaped Indian culture, influencing its social structures, ethical norms, and artistic traditions for millennia. They provide a rich tapestry of moral lessons, inspiring generations to strive for righteousness and virtuous living. The heroes and villains within these epics serve as powerful role models and cautionary tales, shaping individual aspirations and societal expectations. Religious narratives function similarly, offering explanations for the origins of the universe, the meaning of life, and the nature of the divine. They often provide a framework for understanding suffering, death, and the afterlife, offering comfort and solace in the face of existential uncertainty. The narratives found in the Bible, the Quran, and other religious texts have shaped the moral and ethical values of billions of people across the globe. These stories often contain powerful parables and allegories that illustrate complex moral dilemmas and offer guidance on how to live a virtuous life. For example, the parable of the Good Samaritan in the Christian tradition emphasizes the importance of compassion and extending kindness to even those considered outsiders or enemies. Similarly, the concept of ahimsa, nonviolence, in Jainism and Buddhism, powerfully shapes their adherents' ethical codes and social interactions. These narratives also serve as a crucial mechanism for transmitting cultural knowledge. They pass down traditions, customs, and beliefs from one generation to the next, preserving cultural heritage and ensuring its continuity. Indigenous cultures worldwide rely heavily on oral traditions, myths, legends, and folk telesto preserve their history, cosmology, and social structures. These narratives are often embedded in rituals, ceremonies, and artistic expressions, reinforcing their importance and ensuring their transmission across generations. The loss of these oral traditions can represent a significant loss of cultural identity and knowledge, making the preservation of these narratives crucial for maintaining cultural diversity. However, the impact of these cultural narratives is not always benign. They can also perpetuate harmful stereotypes, prejudices, and inequalities. Many myths and legends reinforce patriarchal structures, depict women in stereotypical roles, or justify discrimination based on race, ethnicity, or religious affiliation. The critical examination of these narratives is essential to understand their potential for perpetuating harmful social norms. For instance, some ancient myths depict women as temptresses or treacherous figures, shaping societal perceptions of gender roles and perpetuating harmful stereotypes. Similarly, some religious narratives have been used to justify violence, oppression, and discrimination against minority groups. It's crucial to engage with these texts critically, acknowledging their historical context and challenging the ways in which they have been used to justify harmful actions. Furthermore, the ways in which these narratives are interpreted and reinterpreted can also shape their influence. Over time, myths and legends are often adapted and modified to reflect the changing values and beliefs of a society. This process of reinterpretation can lead to new meanings and interpretations being assigned to the original narratives. For instance, the interpretations of biblical texts have varied widely throughout history, resulting in differing theological perspectives and social practices. Similarly, the narratives surrounding national heroes can be selectively emphasized or downplayed to serve specific political agendas. The impact of these stories is further amplified by the role of storytelling itself. The human mind is inherently drawn to narratives. Stories create engagement and memorability, far surpassing abstract concepts. This powerful human tendency is leveraged through the use of vivid imagery, evocative language, and emotionally resonant themes. The effectiveness of religious parables and moral fables hinges on their ability to resonate emotionally and inspire ethical action. The memorability of these stories, allows for the transmission of complex ideas and values across generations, shaping societal norms and individual behaviors. In the modern era, the mass media television, film, and the internet play an increasingly significant role in shaping cultural narratives. These media channels often present simplified and sensationalized versions of historical events or cultural traditions, potentially distorting perceptions of the past and reinforcing existing biases. It's therefore crucial to cultivate media literacy, to develop critical thinking skills, and to actively seek out diverse perspectives. Exposure to a narrow range of narratives can reinforce existing prejudices and limit our understanding of the complex tapestry of human experience. In conclusion, the analysis of myths, legends, and religious narratives reveals their profound and multifaceted influence on shaping societal values, beliefs, and behaviors. These narratives serve as potent tools for transmitting cultural knowledge, reinforcing social cohesion, and providing frameworks for understanding the world and our place within it. However, it's crucial to critically evaluate these narratives, recognizing their potential to perpetuate harmful stereotypes and biases. By engaging with these stories in a thoughtful and nuanced way, we can better understand their historical context and challenge their potentially harmful implications, fostering a more inclusive and just society. The ongoing interpretation and reinterpretation of these powerful narratives highlight the dynamic interplay between culture, belief, and the enduring human need for meaning and purpose. Understanding this complex interplay is essential for navigating the modern world and fostering a society that values diversity, empathy, and critical thought. The power of narrative extends far beyond the realm of cultural myths and religious texts. It finds a potent application in the therapeutic setting. Narrative therapy, a form of psychotherapy, recognizes the inherent human tendency to structure our lives and experiences through stories. These personal narratives, however, are not always accurate or helpful. Often, they are shaped by limiting beliefs, negative self-perception, or traumatic events, leading to feelings of helplessness, anxiety, or depression. Narrative therapy offers a path towards healing and personal growth by helping individuals reauthor their life stories, shifting from problem-saturated narratives to more empowering and hopeful ones. At the heart of narrative therapy lies the concept of separating the person from the problem. This crucial distinction recognizes that individuals are not defined by their struggles or difficulties. Rather, these are external forces impacting their lives. By externalizing the problem, the therapist helps the client gain a sense of distance and objectivity, reducing the feeling of being overwhelmed by their difficulties. For instance, a client struggling with anxiety might be encouraged to view anxiety as a separate entity, perhaps personified as a monster or a shadow that influences their actions and thoughts, but does not define their identity. This process helps to destigmatize the problem, making it less personal. The process of reauthoring the narrative begins with actively listening to the client's story. The therapist carefully guides the client to articulate their experiences, identifying recurring themes, patterns, and dominant narratives. Through careful questioning and reflection, the therapist helps the client uncover hidden strengths, resources, and alternative perspectives that have been overlooked or suppressed. This process often involves uncovering exception stories instances where the problem did not dominate the individual's life, highlighting periods of resilience, hope, and agency. These exception stories serve as crucial building blocks for constructing a new and more empowering narrative. By highlighting instances where the client successfully navigated challenges, the therapist reinforces their sense of competence and efficacy. These instances become evidence that the problem is not insurmountable, offering a sense of hope and motivation for change. For instance, a client struggling with depression might recall a time when they overcame a challenging situation, demonstrating their ability to cope with adversity. This experience can then be used as a foundation for building a more positive narrative, emphasizing their resilience and capacity for growth. The therapist's role is not to provide solutions or interpretations, but rather to act as a guide and facilitator, helping the client to discover their own insights and create their own meaning. Through collaborative storytelling, the client actively participates in the process of reconstructing their narrative, developing a more empowering and authentic sense of self. This collaborative approach is crucial, ensuring that the new narrative is truly reflective of the client's own experiences and aspirations. The client's voice is central, The therapist serves as a listener, questioner, and witness to the client's process of self-discovery. An important element of this process is the identification and challenge of dominant narratives. These are the overarching stories that often shape a person's perception of themselves and the world around them. These narratives might include beliefs about self-worth, capabilities, and relationships. Often, these dominant narratives are limiting, perpetuating feelings of inadequacy, helplessness, or despair. The therapist helps the client to identify these limiting narratives and to challenge their validity through exploring alternative perspectives and counter-narratives. For instance, a client who believes themselves to be inherently flawed might be guided to explore instances where they demonstrated kindness, compassion, or strength, undermining the dominant narrative of self-criticism. The therapeutic use of narrative also involves exploring the social and cultural context within which the client's story unfolds. Narrative therapy recognizes that individuals' experiences are shaped by their social, cultural, and historical circumstances. By examining these broader influences, the therapist helps the client understand how external factors might have contributed to their difficulties and how their responses are often rational within a specific context. This approach helps to alleviate feelings of guilt or shame that often accompany struggles with mental health, fostering a more compassionate and self-understanding perspective. Furthermore, the process of narrative therapy often involves engaging with the client's wider social network. This could include family members, friends, or colleagues who may play a role in either perpetuating or challenging the client's dominant narrative. By incorporating these perspectives, the therapist helps the client to see their story from different angles, gaining a broader understanding of their experiences and the impact they have on others. This wider engagement often leads to a greater sense of community support and understanding, reinforcing the positive aspects of the newly constructed narrative. Finally, the creation of a new narrative is not a singular event. It is an ongoing process of growth and self-discovery. The therapeutic relationship provides a safe space for clients to continue to explore, challenge, and refine their stories as they navigate the complexities of life. The new narrative, therefore, is not a fixed entity, but rather a fluid and evolving account of the individual's experiences, constantly being shaped and reshaped by their ongoing journey. This emphasis on ongoing growth encourages self-reflection and a commitment to personal development, empowering clients to take active control of their lives and their narratives. In conclusion, the therapeutic power of narrative lies in its ability to empower individuals to actively shape their own stories, moving from narratives of suffering and limitation to narratives of resilience, hope, and agency. By externalizing the problem, uncovering exception stories, challenging dominant narratives, and exploring the social context, narrative therapy offers a path towards healing, personal growth, and a more fulfilling life. The collaborative nature of this therapeutic approach ensures that the client's voice and experience remain central, fostering a genuine and authentic process of self-discovery and transformation, leaving them equipped to navigate future challenges with greater understanding and self-compassion. The lasting impact of narrative therapy extends beyond the therapeutic setting, influencing the client's ongoing relationships, decisions, and self-perception, fostering a more positive and empowering life journey. It is a testament to the profound influence of stories on shaping our sense of self and our understanding of the world. We've explored how narratives shape our understanding of ourselves and the world, how they influence our therapeutic journeys, and how they underpin societal structures. Now, let's turn inward. This section is about you, about crafting your own narrative, about finding meaning within the often chaotic tapestry of your life. This isn't about creating a fictionalized version of yourself, but about consciously constructing a coherent and meaningful story from the raw material of your experiences. It's about taking ownership of your narrative, recognizing the power you hold to shape your perception of the past, present, and future. The first step in crafting your own narrative is introspection. This isn't a passive activity. It requires active engagement with your memories, emotions, and experiences. Consider journaling, a practice that has been shown to improve mental well-being and self-awareness. Regular journaling allows you to explore your thoughts and feelings without judgment, helping you identify recurring patterns, themes, and pivotal moments in your life. Don't censor yourself. Let the words flow freely, capturing both the positive and negative aspects of your journey. As you delve into your past, Pay close attention to the stories you tell yourself. What are the dominant narratives that shape your self-perception? Do you see yourself as a victim of circumstance, a resilient survivor, or something in between? Identifying these dominant narratives is crucial because they often unconsciously dictate your actions, choices, and emotional responses. Are these narratives serving you well, or are they limiting your potential, hindering your growth, and perpetuating negative self-beliefs? Once you've identified your dominant narratives, it's time to critically evaluate them. Ask yourself, are these stories truly representative of your entire life experience? Do they encompass the full spectrum of your capabilities, strengths, and accomplishments? Often, we focus on negative experiences, letting them overshadow the positive. This negativity bias can distort our perception of ourselves and the world around us. To counter this, actively search for exception stories instances where you defied the dominant narrative. These are moments of resilience, courage, compassion, or triumph, often overlooked when we're trapped in a cycle of negativity. Recall times you overcame obstacles, demonstrated strength, or showed kindness. These moments, however small they might seem, are evidence of your inherent capacity for growth and positive change. They are the building blocks of a more empowering narrative. Writing these exception stories down can be incredibly powerful. Describe the situation, your emotions, your actions, and the outcome. Analyze what enabled you to succeed in those instances. Did you rely on a particular skill, resource, or support system? Identifying these resources can empower you to leverage them in future challenges, further strengthening your sense of agency and self-efficacy. The next step involves reframing your experiences. This doesn't involve denying the hardships you've faced. Rather, it's about finding meaning and growth within those challenges. Consider the lessons learned, the personal development achieved, and the increased resilience gained. By reframing adversity as a catalyst for growth, you shift the narrative from one of victimhood to one of empowerment. For instance, a period of unemployment might initially be viewed as a failure. However, a reframing could highlight the skills developed during this time, such as improved self-discipline, resourcefulness, and networking abilities, which ultimately led to a more fulfilling career path. Similarly, a challenging relationship might be reframed to highlight the lessons learned about boundaries, self-respect, and the importance of healthy relationships. Incorporating these reframed experiences into your personal narrative requires actively choosing the language you use to describe your past. The words we choose shape our perception, influencing our self-image and future actions. Instead of using words that emphasize failure, helplessness, or victimhood, choose language that reflects resilience, strength, and growth. Beyond personal reflection, consider the social context of your life story. How have societal factors, cultural norms, or historical events shaped your experiences? Recognizing these external influences can foster self-compassion and understanding. It can help to alleviate feelings of self-blame or shame, freeing you to focus on personal growth and positive change. To further enrich your narrative, consider incorporating external perspectives. Seek feedback from trusted friends, family members, or mentors. Their perspectives can offer new insights and help you see your story from different angles. Their stories about you can highlight aspects of your character and achievements you might have overlooked. Finally, remember that crafting your narrative is an ongoing process, not a one-time project. Life is constantly unfolding, presenting new challenges and opportunities for growth. Regularly revisit your personal narrative, updating and refining it as you navigate new experiences. This ongoing reflection fosters self-awareness, resilience, and a deeper understanding of your evolving self. This process of crafting a meaningful life narrative is not about creating a perfect story. It's about creating an authentic one, a story that reflects your unique experiences, strengths, and struggles. It's about finding meaning and purpose in the complexities of your life, empowering you to face the future with confidence, resilience, and a sense of agency. It's about reclaiming your story, taking ownership of your narrative, and shaping your life with intention and purpose. This process of continuous self-reflection and narrative construction is a journey of self-discovery, leading to a more fulfilling and meaningful life. Embrace the power of your own story. It is the foundation upon which you build your future. The ability to actively shape your narrative is a cornerstone of living a life of purpose and meaning. It allows you to